Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tyra Monet and I'm so glad you're here. Today I'll be giving you guys a quick roadmap on what you need to do after you create your business plan to have a successful wellness business that is going to last, okay? So I'm going to be going over about 5 or 6 steps that you need to do after you've identified who your target audience is going to be, your target market, your clientele. You have a clear and better vision, right? But now you're like, okay, what do I do next? So let's dive into exactly what you need to do in order for you to keep the momentum and get your business running and get ready for launch day. I do have a wellness business called Ty's Garden, and I've been in business for about 4 years now, and it has definitely been a journey. I'm still trying to keep up with my pace of having a business. I do have a 9-to-5. I'm also a public health professional, so health and wellness, healthcare, public health is just my thing. It's right up my alley. It is for sure my passion, and I want to share with you guys what I have learned. If you did watch my last video, I offered a free business plan template that is on my website, and I'll link it down below so that you can go ahead and get started on identifying your business mission, your purpose, resources that you might need, exactly your target audience, and everything that basically is going to describe what you're trying to do and why. So I definitely recommend you go and try to fill out that form. Again, it's free online on my website. Step 1, you're going to want to make sure that you have your administrative and legal protocols put into place for you to launch your business. That means you need to make sure your business is registered if you plan to go that route, making sure that you don't have your trade name taken by somebody else. You can do a quick search on your state's website to see if your trade name, the name that you plan on doing business under, is not taken. This is very different than a trademark, which takes which is a longer process and takes more legal steps to get approved. So I recommend you just start with the trade name and see if you wanted to get a sole proprietorship or if you want an LLC. I particularly have an LLC. I filed it myself back in 2020, and I actually thought it was pretty easy. I ended up doing 2 other filings for a friend of mine's, for 2 other filings for 2 friends of mine, and it went pretty smoothly. But I do recommend you actually seek out legal assistance because it can get a little bit tricky depending on the type of business that you want. And of course you want to pay if you do pay. And of course it does cost money, so if you do mess up, you probably will have to pay again. Luckily, I got mine good on the first try, and then the other 2 that I did for my friends, it worked out perfectly. So if you do have questions about how to file an LLC, I believe I can answer them. Again, I had the best of luck with it, but please make sure you do your research before you just go in and pay for it and file it, because it also takes a lot of time. Also want to make sure you're getting the proper permits for your business too. For example, if you plan on opening a yoga studio, you may have to contact your local state or city to figure out the proper protocols to open a studio. This may be completely different than opening a tea studio or a tea shop. So those are 2 different things, and they may take 2 different types of permits and processes for you to get those approved. So again, do your research, and all this information should be on your state's business site. For example, I'm in Maryland, so we have Maryland Business Express, and it has everything there from grants, resources, to how to file, to all the permits that you need to make sure that your businesses are following the proper protocols and policy as well. Next, you want to make sure you're getting the proper licenses in addition to permits. This also includes, for example, if you're going to be a yoga instructor, you need a training or certification in order to teach yoga. Or if you're providing esthetician services, lashes, or anything that has to do with skin or touching someone's body, you have your proper licensure and certifications as well. I do not recommend you go in full force ahead with taking on clients without the proper training. I think that is not setting up your business for success. Granted, if you have had experience practicing and doing things on family members and things like that. Of course, that is how you learn. But in order for you to have a sustainable, long-lasting business, you want to make sure that you are showing up as a professional. And also, you want to make sure that you are credible, right? If anyone comes to you like, yes, I'm licensed, yes, I'm certified, like, You want your clients and your community to have full confidence that you are the best of the best, because that's how you should approach anything, right? So make sure that you are looking up and have the proper licenses and certifications to provide the services and products. If you're selling beauty products, you want to make sure that they are either FDA compliant. And then again, if you're selling herbal teas and wellness teas, you also want to make sure that they have the proper safety protocols for them to be consumed, or they're topicals that they can be applied to the body. So all of these things should be considered when you are looking at products for your business and also thinking about launching your business as well. Next, show me the money. You're going to want to open a business bank account. So I have Navy Federal, and when I first applied for Navy Federal, I did it along the same time I was able to receive my certification for my LLC. And it was a smooth process. I do recommend Navy Fed. They do have two options. One is for if you have a large amount of money that you would like to deposit for your bank account, or if you want to do a small deposit. I believe my deposit was only like $50 or $25 at the time, and I've had it since. So it is very important for you to keep your finances separated from your personal and your business. One, if you're starting to get paid and you want to buy supplies and things that you need for your business, you don't want to keep going into your personal. You want to make sure that you have an account for your business expenses. Granted, as you know, using some of your personal funds, but you don't want to always have to do that, right? Of course, in a perfect world, we would have the collateral for a business, right? Over time, you're going to be able to get lines of credit. You're going to be able to get loans and grants, and you want to make sure that it's not mixed in with your personal finances. Wow, as well, for example, I do have a Square card that actually in my Square POS system that I use when I do vending opportunities or public sales, like in person. I do have a card for that, and that is very helpful too. So I do recommend, again, making sure that you have a business account. That way, when you get orders, when clients pay you, it goes all into the same account. Okay, step 2 goes into branding and marketing. This is the fun thing for me because I did all of my logos, website, branding for my business. I did everything myself. One, because at the time I didn't have enough funds to pay someone, and I taught myself. And I think you also need to see the beauty in learning how to do things, because you don't always have to continuously pay for something. Granted, if you do have the funds, you can pay someone for a service, but I take the value in learning things because I like graphic design and I like to create things. So I was able to utilize Canva to create my brand template, and also I was looking into Photoshop and stock. I believe it's Photoshop stock or something like that, Adobe, and things like that to build my brand template. If you're not familiar with the brand template or really identifying your brand, that means the brand font, the style, the aesthetic, the colors. When people think of your business, they should be able to feel it when they see it, right? So for example, my business is Ty's Garden. When you think of a garden, you will think of greenery, you think of flowers, you think of earthy. It should be soft. It should be soft on the eyes. And also that relates to the colors, because I did a lot of research on this, right? Everything I'm telling you guys, I did a lot of research on. So for example, usually health and wellness businesses have the color green associated with it. Green represents detoxing, clarifying, earthy tone colors, represents wellness and healthy, right? Blue, for example, represents cool. It could be water, it could be more calm, peaceful. So you want to make sure that you're doing research on a specific color. There's even like a color wheel, a color chart or book or something that will tell you, okay, yellow represents bright, red is more so passionate, blue, like I said, is calm, green is for like healthy. So when you're choosing your colors, make sure that it relates to your business. I wouldn't recommend something that's all completely black or white. If you're looking for something that, if your theme is more vibrant, if your theme is more like growth elements and things like that, I wouldn't do so more black and white, because that gives off more of a minimalistic vibe. So again, do your research. And if you're looking to create a brand template, they have templates on Canva. At one point I was going on Etsy to figure out different ideas and understand how I can have different types of logos, and there are different types of logo styles. There could be a small logo style, there could be a larger logo style. So all of these things play into a role of your branding, and that is going to impact your marketing, because you want everything to be seamless. For example, like I said, my colors are green, white, a little bit of black for letters, and I just leave it at that. I have simple colors because I know it's a certain type of green color that I have, and you want to make sure even down to the color codes, because it has to be the same when you're on your website, when you're on your phone, when you have things printed out. It should be the same exact color on all of your marketing materials. That's going to help people identify the professionalism and the consistency with your branding for your business as well. Next, along with your branding and marketing comes your website. So I particularly use Wix for my website. When I first started, I was going to go through Shopify at one point, but I ended up doing Wix because it was cheaper, and I have been using Wix this whole time. Will I ever switch over to Shopify? I don't know. I have no complaints about Wix, so Wix it is. Wix is pretty much easy to use for me. I build my website myself, and I think that they have really good technical support. I believe I've reached out to technical support maybe like 2 or 3 times in the past, and it was very seamless and easy to do. So when you're trying to figure out where should you place your bookings or your products, again, do your research between Wix and Shopify. I do think Shopify is more so for like products specifically, and Wix is more so for like blogging, bookings and things like that. But again, to me, they're pretty much the same. They're just 2 different platforms. When you're developing your website, you want to make sure it's organized, especially in your like navigation bar. So you want to make sure it's clear where to book, where your products are, where your videos are, where your information is about yourself. When people go to your website, they should be able to have a full-blown experience when they enter your site. Same as if they have a full-blown experience when they're coming for a service, and when they are experiencing your service, whether you're giving therapy, yoga, anything. They should be able to really feel the professionalism and the brand identity behind who you are. Next is establishing your online presence. So this is very, very important, and honestly, I have learned the value of this for the past year, understanding the difference between social media apps and how to navigate all of them. So for example, I have all social media apps: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, also called X, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Snapchat. I'm not really on Snapchat at all, honestly, but all of those are social media platforms. Even Discord, I know a lot of people are on there. TikTok. So the key is, number one, it's okay to be on all platforms. As you navigate and understand how to market your business, you're going to find and funnel where your business is flourishing the most. For example, I do get a lot more feedback on TikTok. I do get a lot more feedback on Instagram. However, for X/Twitter, I don't get feedback at all because it doesn't really relate to the concept or the information that I'm putting out for my business. So I recommend to you, it's okay to start and put yourself out there on all different platforms. For example, I'll create one video on TikTok. That video on TikTok is going to go on Instagram. It's going to go on Facebook. It's going to go on YouTube. Everywhere where you can see a video, it's going to go. And that is going to help you understand that there's a community of people here that may not be over here, but they're going to possibly go over to this other social media platform to find you and engage. And that's the beauty in us having so many different options to market our businesses. And I do recommend you utilize all of them. And then after a while, you'll figure out, okay, I don't really have to use Instagram. I'm more popping on TikTok. I don't really have to use TikTok. I love Instagram. So you have to, when you're first starting out, that's what I recommend. And it's just always about consistency. And that is something that I'm continuously learning and really just trying to put myself out there and just removing the fear of posting and just promoting yourself, promoting your business until the right audience is going to come to it and it's going to filter through continuously every time. Step 3 is building your network and building your community, also clientele. So this is very important because you want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals when it comes to your business. You want to make sure that you're remaining motivated and inspired by being a part of different events, groups, organizations that help you build your business and grow as an individual for your business. In general, everyone says running a business is hard, but you also need to be teachable and understand that there are resources out there. When I go to different wellness events in my area, I've even considered starting to travel out of state more to go to wellness events. That provides so much inspiration for me, and I learn so much being in those spaces with like-minded individuals. It's just amazing. Like, it's honestly mind-blowing, and I feel so motivated, and I come home and I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this. I now have a person I can contact and ask questions to. And it's not about competition. You can go to a lash event and it could be 20 different other lash techs, but you're going to learn so much from this person has this type of product that they're doing. This person does this type of style. This person is able to service in this way. And you're going to be able to learn that from being in those rooms. So you have to start going out and going to these events, making sure you surround yourself, following the right people that inspire you, and really submerging yourself in that environment in order for you to keep that on your mind and keep yourself knowledgeable on all of these resources and things that you can learn for your business. So develop that community. Same goes for your clientele. When they experience you, you need to make sure that you're building your clientele for them. You're doing this for them. You want them to keep coming back. You want to prioritize them. You want to listen to feedback. You want to figure out what you can do better. You want to be open to suggestions, right? So that's going to help you, again, build your rapport and also build your clientele for the long term for your business too. Okay, next you're going to prepare for operations, right? So you need to make sure that if you're opening a physical location, everything is put into place, all your supplies, everything that you need, the location, making sure that you are within the community, and also that your target audience and community is in that area too. You want to make sure you do all your research. For example, if you're opening a yoga studio, you want to make sure you have all your supplies, yoga mats, cleaning supplies. Could be the ambiance. You want it to smell good, look good. If you're doing a podcast, you want to make sure you have the proper microphones or a studio where you can record. All of these things are to make sure that you have the proper protocol for your business and also the space that you want to be into. In addition to making sure that you have the proper supplies for what you need, there are specific resources that are free that you can take advantage of. So for example, a lot of people don't know about trade lines that you can get under different services. So for example, Uline, they provide trade lines that you don't have to pay up front, and you can get the supplies that you need for your business. So for example, I was able to get boxes and packages, and also peanuts for my boxes and packages. I believe I paid probably $200 or more 90 days after I received the package. So they will give you a trade line for you to order whatever you need, and you don't have to pay up front. And that is a really good resource, especially when you're fronting the cost for your business. And I definitely took advantage of that. And it also helps you build business credit. Dun & Bradstreet is basically like the credit bureau for businesses. And they report your lines of credit and give you a business credit score. So that's how you can get loans, credit cards for your business too. So when you are searching on Alibaba, Uline, and different websites for bulk orders, see if they have a trade line available for your business. I may do a separate video specifically on how I found my vendors, because that is a process and challenge in itself. It takes a lot of testing, because you don't want to just choose the first one that sends you a product to test. You want to search for quality. And I will say the first vendor that I had, I thought it was the best because of the package that they offered me. And then when I went to search for better tea, I found a really good vendor that is based out of California. Like, I have had people tell me verbatim, like, this tea is so good, it's fresh, like, you have quality tea, and they can truly see the difference in between my two vendors. So I want to make sure, like, and express that when you're going out and searching for products, don't just go on the first run and try to find, okay, this is good, they're giving me the best prices, but it may not be the best quality. And you also want to create a relationship with your vendors too. Don't be mean and nasty when you're contacting them. These are people who you may end up having a years to like a long time relationship with. And you want to be able to, call them, tell them that something was an issue or you really need a favor. So make sure that you're being kind to these people when you're contacting them. Okay, now that you have your legal, your administrative tasks complete, you have identified your brand and also your marketing techniques. You also have established your network and your clientele, and you are ready for operations. It's time to launch. And you want to take your time with this, right? Because you don't want to just randomly say that you're launching and nobody was prepared for it, right? So you want to build up the anticipation. So that means making sure you're putting out flyers, communication, letting people know that something is actually coming and they should be excited. You may want to start with word of mouth. You may want to put on your website. Even putting yourself out there when you're going to specific networking events or being around your friends and family, just letting people know that something is coming, right? And then after your website and everything is set up and ready to go, you can gradually start to book clients. You can gradually start to host networking events and things like that. So that is what you need to do. Also, making sure that you collect feedback from these events. You collect feedback from your experiences, your clients. All of that is important because that's going to help your business be better too. So the main takeaways here that I really want to express is be teachable when it comes to your business. It's always going to be ups and downs. And like I said, personally, I have not necessarily struggled, but it is hard to maintain, especially when you have a 9-to-5. And I think that is what makes my experience unique. My business is a side hustle, but I'm passionate about it. And you want to, again, always turn your passion into purpose, because I know there's a purpose behind what I'm trying to do. Always search out for resources. Make sure that you ask questions. I particularly don't have a business mentor, but I really want one. However, I make sure I follow specific women who have businesses or professionals who are in a space that I would love to be a part of one day, and I take notes and I keep track of things. And that is, I use that as inspiration, because you can't, let that fall to the wayside. You have to make sure it's always in front of you. You have to continue to stay motivated. So I recommend, again, making sure you follow people that inspire you, making sure you continue to ask questions, surround yourself with that network, keep going to specific events, and try to just make your business better. There's always something that you can learn. There's always something that you can try to do differently, and continue to follow these steps. So please make sure that you download the free business template I have on my website. I will also share additional resources that I particularly have used in the past, and let me know if you guys have any questions. So thank you so much for watching. I wish you much abundance and just positivity for your business moving forward. Thank you for tapping on my shoulder and telling me what you need from me in the comments in my previous video. So more is coming. I would definitely create these resources for you guys, but thank you again. Peace.